Mr. Anderson.
Can you please state your name?
Sergio Liuban Ruiz Leiva.
And can you,
Sergio Liuban Ruiz Leiva. Sergio Liuban Ruiz Leiva.
can you,
Wait for interpretation.
Sergio Liuban Ruiz Leiva.
can you spell your middle name?
Liuvan.
Liuvan.
Sergio, were you tubing with a group of people including Nicolae on July 30, 2022?
Sí.
Yes.
Sí.
Are you on that image somewhere?
Sí.
Yes.
Where?
Del chor amarillo.
I have the yellow shorts.
And white shirt and white bucket hat?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you remember a time when you were tubing when Ariel's phone got lost?
Sí.
Yes.
And do you remember a discussion about looking for the phone or just leaving it?
¿Puedes repetir, por favor? Sí, en un momento decidieron de que no se iba a buscar el teléfono, que no querían porque la aseguranza iba a pagar el teléfono.
Yes, and at some point, they decided they didn't have to look for the phone because the insurance would pay for the phone.
Did Nicolae go look for the phone?
Sí.
Yes.
After do you remember how long? Strike that. At some point after he went to look for the phone, did you hear Sandy yell something about he's in trouble?
No.
No.
Did something catch your attention downriver?
Bueno, el grupo de personas.
Well, there was a group of people there.
And what about it caught your attention?
Alrededor de Nick.
They were around Nick.
Was there a time you saw Nick down in the water?
No, porque es que había muchas personas. Estaba muy grande el grupo.
No, because there were many people. It was a large group.
Did you ever remember seeing Nick interacting with a blonde girl?
No.
No.
Can we have exhibit 45? Sergio, do you remember telling
¿Recuerda?
police there was a girl, if I'm not mistaken, with a black leotard
Sí.
Yes.
who said, go, 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 go to Nick?
Yo la vi cuando ella estaba en el grupo, que estaba en el grupo alrededor, porque era la que más se distinguía entre ellos por el color del leotar negro.
I saw her when she was around that group because she was easier to identify because of the black leotard.
Pero en sí estaba bien un poco alejado del grupo, del grupo porque no me moví de mi recámara.
But I was far away from that group. I just didn't move from my inner tube.
And do you remember telling police that Nick pushed her?
No recuerdo.
I don't remember that.
Can I approach?
Yes.
For the record,
Yeah.
Judge, I handed the witness Exhibit 45 on page 15. Sergio, do you see this transcript?
¿Sí?
Yes.
And about the middle of the page, do you see where you said the woman yelled, go, 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 and then Nick goes and pushes her?
Sí.
Yes. Yes.
And you were far away, you said?
Yes.
Judge, I'm going to pull up some screenshots or frames. I'm going to start with 2872. I'll let you know. I'll let the clerk know when we're ready. And we're going to zoom in on the top left. Sergio, is that you in the
Yep.
top left?
Sí.
Yes.
And if you know, is that about where you were when you were watching what was happening?
Yo estaba al lado de mi recámara, de la goma.
I was right by my inner tube.
Do you remember telling police that you walked about 5 meters from your group and then someone told you to stop?
Mi hermana me dijo que no me moviera. Cuando me iba a mover, mi hermana me dijo que no me moviera hacia allá abajo, que no fuera. Por eso me regresé a mi recámara.
When I was going to move, my sister told me not to move. That she said, don't go to the other side, just, and that's why I returned to my inner tube.
Do you remember, did you see the girl in the blonde girl in the black swimsuit? Did you see her fall or stumble backwards when Nick pushed her?
No recuerdo.
No, I don't remember.
And did you actually see if it was a push or a punch?
Objection has been asked and answered. Sustained.
Well, can we approach?
Yes. I'm sorry, I'll change my ruling. May I ask the question?
Do you remember if it was actually a push or if it was a punch or something else that Nick did to the blonde woman?
No, no recuerdo.
No, I don't remember that.
And Sergio, do you see on page 15? I'll direct you. So I asked you about the paragraph on the middle. Remember that?
Sí.
Now, the next
Yes.
paragraph where you're describing what happened, do you see that?
Sí.
Yes.
And you described that it was after Nick got out of the water, and that's when the girl said, "Go, go, go," and he pushed her. Do you see that?
No, sí.
Oh, yes.
And then below that, you reiterate that it was after she said, "Go, go, go, go," that Nick pushed her. Do you see that?
Sí.
Yes.
Can you turn to page 16? On page 16, you described that she was wearing a black leotard, and you clarified that that was a black one-piece swimsuit.
Sí.
Yes.
And then further down, you describe again hearing her say, "Go, go, go, go," and he pushed her. You see that?
Sí.
Yes.
And from your memory, when you're telling this to police, you thought that was the last thing that happened, and then Nick walked back to your group.
Sí.
Yes.
And you thought he was down in the water before the girl said, "Go, go, go," and he pushed her. Right?
Yes.
And Sergio, have you ever seen the video from this incident?
No.
No.
So you were trying to recount what happened to the police as best you could remember?
Sí.
Yes.
Sí, en el momento.
Yes, at that time.
Did it happen fast?
Yep.
Yep.
Was it difficult to remember in what order things happened?
Que lo que yo recuerdo fue que en el momento que se perdió el teléfono, Rosy se puso en una esquina a buscar el móvil en la orilla.
What I remember is that at the moment when we lost the telephone, Rosie started looking for the phone by the edge of the river.
Y yo me quedé ahí en la balsa, lo cual le decían de que dejara el teléfono, que ya la aseguranza lo pagaba.
Yeah, I stayed there because they were talking about it and they said, just leave it, the insurance will pay for it.
Y ya no recuerdo más nada cuando el compañero Nick cogió el snorkel y se tiró a a bucear, a buscar el teléfono.
And I don't remember anything else except that Nick took the snorkel and started diving in there to look for the phone.
Y ya me fui. Entonces cuando miro hacia abajo, ya veo el grupo de personas. Ya.
And then I left. And then that's when I saw on the other side the group of people.
Ya. Más nada, eso es lo que recuerdo de eso.
That's what I remember.
So you may have forgotten a lot of what you remembered then.
¿Puedes repetir, por favor?
Can you repeat that, please?
You can see the transcript where you describe seeing more to law enforcement.
No, yo no había visto, yo no vi, yo solamente escuché.
I didn't see. I just heard things.
But you can see in the transcript you told police multiple times that when she yelled, "Go, go, go," Nick pushed her.
Objection as to answer.
Bueno, porque se sentía que era la voz de una persona, de una mujer, pero no estoy seguro si fue ella o no.
Because I heard the voice of a woman. I am not sure if it was her.
You described her as a blonde woman in a black one-piece swimsuit.
Sí,
Yes.
sí, lo veo aquí.
And I see it here, yeah.
And when you described seeing Nick down in the water, you described that you believed they must have hit him, or you thought they must have hit him because he was down in the water. Do you remember that? Or did you say that to law enforcement?
No. I never said that.
No,
No.
Do you remember ever seeing anyone hit Nick?
no.
No.
When Nick came back, did Nick come back to the group at some point?
Sí.
Yes.
And as he was coming back, did you see people that were injured?
Sí, sí.
Yes, I saw them. Yes.
Did you see blood?
Bueno, en el lugar que yo estaba, yo solamente veía la mano de la muchachita y sí, tenía como sangre ahí, pero no se distinguía bien.
From the place where I was, I could see the girl with her hand over here, and you could see blood, yes. But you couldn't distinguish it that clearly.
Porque era la que le estaba pidiendo ayuda, a que decía que llamaran al 911, que estaba pidiendo ayuda a mi hermana.
She was the one asking for help to call 911. She was asking my sister to,
Y en ese momento me
Call.
volteé y ya no miré, no quise mirar más.
and I didn't want to continue looking. I just turned around.
Turned away from the injured person you saw?
Para no ver nada de sangre.
So I didn't see any of those things. Yes.
Just a moment, Your Honor. Señor, acérquese al micrófono dice usted para no ver nada de...
Para no ver nada de lo que estaba pasando.
So that I didn't see what was happening.
¿Puede acercar el micrófono a usted?
So it was something that was hard to watch or see.
¿Era algo difícil de ver? ¿O será difícil ver eso?
Sí.
Yes.
When Nick came back, did you hear him say anything?
No.
No.
Did you hear him say, "They took my knife"?
Neti le preguntó y eso le dijo y yo le pregunté a Neti que qué había dicho y dije que sí, que fue eso lo que dijo.
Nettie asked him, and I did ask what he said, she said. Can you?
Que Nettie le preguntó que qué había sucedido y entonces él dijo que le habían quitado la navaja.
Nettie asked him what happened, and he said that they had taken the knife away.
Y yo le pregunté a Nettie, ¿qué dijo Nick?
And then I asked Nettie, what did Nick say?
Y me dijo que le habían quitado la navaja y ya no se habló más nada en el...
And she said that they had taken away his knife, and we didn't talk about it anymore.
Did you see Nick saying anything or hear him talking anymore after that?
No.
No.
What was Nick like? What did he look like? How was he acting?
Vino pálido cuando se acercó a nosotros
He looked pale when he got close to us,
y con los ojos grandes
and his eyes wide open.
y se sentó y ya no habló más nada.
He just sat there and he didn't talk anymore.
Do you remember when he came back and got back to your group, him putting on his hat and jacket?
Sí.
Yes.
And do you remember telling police you didn't look at Nick too much because you didn't dare to look at him?
Porque no me atreví, estaba en la parte de atrás de la recámara.
I didn't dare, but he was also in the back of the inner tube.
Yo.
I was in the back.
So can you turn to page 21? Can I approach?
Yes.
I got it.
Sí.
Do you see where you said,
Yes.
I didn't look at him because the truth is I didn't dare to look at him?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you remember how long you guys stayed at the sandbar?
No.
No. I don't remember that.
El tiempo no lo recuerdo.
I don't remember the time.
Do you remember seeing police come?
Sé que Eric fue a buscarla porque Eric fue a buscarla
I know that Eric went looking for them. Eric went to
a la policía a guiarlo.
Eric went to look for the police and guide them.
After Eric came back to your group, did your group leave?
Sí.
Yes.
What do you remember of the time when you guys were tubing to the exit?
¿Puedes repetir, por favor?
Can you repeat that, please?
Can you describe what it was like, what you remember from tubing to the exit?
Compañero Nick se puso la gorra, la chaqueta y ya no se habló más nada. No se
Well,
habló
Nick
nada.
put on his hat and then his jacket, and we didn't talk about anything else.
Y ya no se habló más nada porque estaba todo el mundo callado.
Nobody talked. Everyone was quiet.
I don't have anything else.
Mr. Trophy?
Sir, do you remember giving an interview to the police on August 3rd of 2022?
Sí, ellos fueron a mi casa.
Yes, they went to my home.
And was your memory of what happened better in August of 2022, or is it better today?
Bueno, antes estaba mejor. Yo estoy muy nervioso.
Well, it was better back then. I'm very nervous now.
Okay, so when you spoke to the police on August 3rd, about 5 days or 4 days after this happened, fair to say your memory is better of those events than it is right now.
Sí.
Yes.
And when you were interviewed by the police, there was a Spanish-speaking officer that was talking to you, is that right?
Sí.
Yes.
And you tried to answer that officer's questions as truthfully as possible, is that right?
Sí.
Yes.
And you said that was at your house?
Sí.
Yes.
Was it less stressful than it is here today?
Sí.
Yes.
And that officer had asked you questions about what happened on July 30th of 2022.
Sí.
Yes.
I want to ask you, if I can, about that date and maybe some of the things you answered when you were speaking to the officer, okay?
Sí.
Yes.
So I'm going to start with this. You knew that Nick Miu had a knife with him that day because you saw him fixing his shoe or his sandal. Is that right?
Sí.
Yes.
So before any of this incident happened, he had been using that knife to fix something, right?
Sí.
Yes.
And you knew that Mr. Miu or Nick was looking for a phone that your group had lost. Is that true?
Sí.
Yes.
And you also knew that Nick, on that day, Mr. Miu, was with your group, and your group included his wife. Is that right?
Sí.
Yes.
Can you look at that picture right there, sir?
Mhm.
You had mentioned you're in this picture, correct? Is it okay, Judge, if I approach?
Yes.
Sí. Sí.
And you see Mr. Miu here?
Yes.
You see Mr. Miu here?
Sí.
Yes.
This is the shirt that he's got on is the same shirt you saw him wearing at the end of the day, right?
Sí.
And this is
Yes.
and this picture is taken before you guys head down the river. Is that right?
Sí.
Yes.
And he's wearing sunglasses in this picture, right?
Sí.
Yes.
So is it fair to say that when he got off the river, he looked the same or close to the same as he did when he got on the river?
Sí.
Yes.
Now, you know that Nick is looking for this phone that had been lost, that was Ariel's phone, right?
Sí.
Yes.
And you were also aware that he had brought snorkeling gear and goggles with him on that day. Is that true?
Sí.
Yes.
You had seen him on that day snorkeling around the areas where you guys were tubing. Is that right?
Sí, al principio, sí, en la mañana.
Yes, at the beginning, that was the case in the morning.
And when you speak to the officer about the specific incident, meaning what had happened, you recall telling that officer that you saw a group of people surrounding Nick.
Yo, que sí, repite la pregunta, por favor.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. You told the officer on August 3rd of 2022, when you were being asked about what you remember, that you had remembered that they were surrounding Nick.
Sí.
Yes.
You told this officer that they were falling on him. Is that right?
Your Honor, the interpreter needs a repetition.
I'm sorry.
The interpreter needs a repetition.
You told the officer that you observed those people falling on him. Is that right?
Y cuando lo empujaron,
Yes, when they pushed him.
You told the officers that they put Nick in the middle of them. Is that right?
sí, lo tenían ahí, no sé, el bulto de gente, y se veía que estaba adentro el compañero.
Yes, they had him there. It was a group of people, and you could see that they had compañero, my friend there.
Could you see Nick with the group around him? Could you see him?
¿Y usted lo-
Con el grupo que estaba todo alrededor de él, ¿usted podía ver a mí que estaba ahí?
No, no lo podía ver, solamente el grupo, el grupo.
No, I couldn't see him. I could just see the group.
Claro, ya. Sí, solo el grupo.
Just the group.
You told the police
Usted le dijo a la
that they hit him, meaning they hit Nick. Is that right?
Sí, cuando lo empujaron al principio, que él se acercó, que nos se acercó, y cuando ya que lo empujaron, y ya ahí lo rodearon.
Yes, when he had close, then they pushed him, and then they surrounded him.
And you remember the blonde girl with the black suit on. Is that true?
Sí. No la recuerdo muy bien, pero sí, tengo más o menos la...
I don't remember her very well.
No, no la recuerdo.
I don't, but I have an idea. I don't remember her.
Well, do you remember telling the police that you heard the blonde girl telling Nick, go, go, go?
Ujú. Sí. Sí.
Yes, yes.
You told the police that Nick pushed her. that right?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you see the rest of what happened?
No.
Nope.
You see Nick walking back to your group, though. Is that right?
Sí, cuando venía, él traía. Sí.
Yes, when he was coming, yes, I saw.
And you described him to police as being white, pale, and scared. Is that right?
Sí.
Yes.
You described him as having wide or open eyes. Is that right?
Sí. Sí.
Yes.
And at one point, I think you said that Tatiana told you, don't go over there. Is that true?
Sí, mi hermana.
Yes, my sister.
So Nick, to your knowledge, what you know, Nick was by himself against that other group. Is that right?
Sí.
Yes.
No one, you said to the police, as far as you know, no one in your group went over to help him. Is that right?
No, nadie se movió, solamente Ariel al final que bajó y Eri a ver qué lo que estaba pasando.
No, nobody moved. And only at the end, Ariel and Eric went over there to see what was happening.
But that was after it was over. Is that right?
Please repeat.
Sure. When Ariel and Eric went over, the incident had ended. Is that right?
Sí.
Yes.
So in terms of assistance or help, Mr. Miu was by himself. Nick was by himself.
Sí.
Yes.
Did it appear to you that Nick was in shock when he came back to you?
Bueno, impactado. Se veía impactado, sí, no sé. Yo digo shock porque es mi manera de expresarme, ¿ves? Pero impactado puede ser.
Yes, he looked in shock. I said in shock, or something had impacted him. Yes, in shock.
Do you remember waiting some time before your group moved on down the river after the incident?
¿Puedes repetir, por favor?
Can you repeat, please?
Do you remember there being some time that your group waited when Nick came back before going back down the river?
No, no recuerdo. Y cuando él regresó, ya el Neti dijo rápido, vámonos. Fue lo que dijeron.
No, I don't remember that. When Nettie came back, when he came back, Nettie said, "Let's go."
Do you remember telling the police that you waited until you were told to leave the area? Do you remember that?
Oh. Mm, No recuerdo, pero si le dije eso, debe ser sí.
No, I don't remember, but if I said that, it must be right.
You were
Usted,
asked by
usted le
Attorney
preguntó
Anderson
el licenciado Anderson.
about a statement that you said
Usted dijo
that you didn't dare look at Nick.
no se
Do you remember that?
a voltear a ver a Nick. ¿Se acuerda de eso?
Sí.
Yes.
He wasn't threatening toward you, right?
Usted no estaba amenazado, no estaba amenazándolo.
No.
No.
He wasn't being aggressive or angry toward you, right?
No.
No.
You said the group was pretty quiet once you got back.
Sí.
Yes.
So when you said that you didn't want to look at him,
Usted dijo que usted no lo quería voltear a ver.
it wasn't out of fear of him, right?
No.
No.
It was because everyone was in shock.
Todos estaban en shock.
No sabíamos qué había pasado en sí y no sabía cómo preguntar. Bueno, sí, todo el shock, sí.
Yes.
Accidente.
We didn't know what had happened. So we were in shock, yes. We didn't know about anything of that incident.
I'm finished here.
Mr. Anderson?
A few times, or a couple times, you said Nettie. Who's Nettie?
A Ernesto, yo le digo sí.
I'm referring to Ernesto. I call him like that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't hear that. Could the answer be repeated?
I call him Nettie, but I'm referring to Ernesto.
How do you know Ernesto?
Desde de Cuba,
From the time I was in Cuba,
And friends?
sí, somos vecinos de allá de Cuba.
yes, we were neighbors in Cuba.
How long have you known Ernesto?
Bueno, él me vio crecer a mí, como que dice.
He basically, we grew up together.
Close friends?
Sí,
Yes.
How long had you known Nicolae Miu?
bueno, cuando yo llegué aquí a este país, que Nicolae Miu trabajó con Neti.
When I came to this country, I met Nick
Y lo,
Miu.
conocí,
He worked with Nettie.
y lo conocí en casa de Neti.
So I met him at Nettie's house.
So, is Nick a friend too?
Solo conocidos, nos reuníamos una vez o dos veces al año así.
We were acquaintances. We met twice a year.
Are Ernesto and Nick good friends?
Sí, pero
Yes, they are.
Defense asked if Nick looked like he was in shock. Do you remember that?
sí.
Yes.
What you told police was, I don't know if he was scared or worried.
Que no se veía cuando una persona está preocupada en el semblante de la persona, se ve cuando está preocupada o
Because you see somebody when that person is worried, you can see in his face.
Obviously, you didn't know what he's thinking at that time.
No,
No,
You don't know if he's in shock or worried about what just happened.
no,
no.
no, solo la cara que se le veía blanca, pálida y con los ojos grandes, así ya más nada.
No, I just saw he was white, he was pale, his eyes wide open.
And I just want to clarify, defense asked you about the interview with the Spanish-speaking detective on August 3rd at your house.
¿Sí?
Yes,
That transcript I was asking you questions about, that's from that interview, right?
Sí.
yes.
And I just want to make sure I understand what you saw. You saw Nick, I think on cross, you said. You saw Nick push the blonde girl and someone pushed Nick. Did you see anything else besides that you remember?
No.
No.
You said in your interview you didn't dare look at Nick, and defense asked if that was because the group was in shock. Do you remember that?
Sí, estaba nervioso.
Yes, I was nervous.
You didn't say about anyone else that you didn't dare look at them, right?
No, no dije, solamente hablé de mí, no sé lo que piensan las demás personas.
No, I only talked about me. I didn't know what the other people were thinking.
When Nick came back, did you see any injuries on him?
No me fijé.
No, I didn't notice.
Nothing else.
Mr. Trofficy?
Sir, I'm gonna just ask you, you were just asked about what you saw. And you told police that you saw Mr. Miu get hit, correct?
Sí.
Yes,
You saw people surrounding him.
Yo vi el grupo de personas, no es que, no sé si lo estaban rodeando, no, solamente vi el grupo de personas.
I saw that group of people. I don't know if they were surrounding him. I saw a group of people.
You agree that you told police they were surrounding him though, right?
¿Puedes repetir, por favor?
Can you repeat that, please?
When you spoke to the Spanish interpreter, or when you spoke to the Spanish-speaking officer, you told that officer that you observed people surrounding him, correct?
Sí.
Yes,
You told that officer that those people jumped on him, correct?
Sí.
yes,
And you told them that you saw Nick on the ground, correct?
Sí, ahí cuando lo empujaron.
yes, when they pushed him.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Mr. Ruiz. Leyva, you may step down.
Judge, can I approach, please?
Yes.
Members of the jury, we need about 5 minutes before the next witness, so we'll excuse you for that moment. We are in recess until, let's just say, 10:45.